Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about 5 examples of people who have taken money over what they wanted in life. Sometimes you're built to enjoy certain things, and sometimes people choose to take money over them. And again, there's this fact that's proven through scientific psychological studies where basically it shows how money has ever diminishing returns on happiness after you reach certain income hurdles. And so basically, what I have here is 5 different stories from books and people that have uh, talked about this subject, and I've all heard these stories in the last month or so, and it's just very amazing how um, when you read a lot and you immerse yourself in knowledge about the world, a lot of things from just different, completely non-related sources just start perking up, and they say similar stuff. And this is one of those topics where people talk about this. They want to talk about this. And you don't see people really taking the time to talk about the opposite, which is um, people who take money and end up in a work environment or occupation that they don't enjoy as much or they hate, and everything goes well. That doesn't happen as much, and maybe it's because no one talks about it as much. Um, but again, it doesn't even really work that way because still you're unhappy. Like, how great can it be? So anyhow, these are 5 great examples from very successful people. First is Ted Leonsis. He is now a billionaire. He made his money through various uh, methods, the biggest being AOL. And his story in his book, The Business of Happiness, is quite incredible because he had a lot of wealth initially, and then he went from business to business and accumulated more. This was not a man who just got lucky. And basically, as you can tell by the title, the book is it's a biography of his life, but it's also a whole story, and it's a whole plan on specific things he's found after a lot of studying, observing, and researching his friends and everyone he's come in contact with business on why, what you need to be happy. And many of his chapter titles are literally the things you need, like a higher calling or communities of interest. And if you want to hear a full book review on that book and a book summary and my opinions, check out my book review channel, which you can find by clicking my name below, Will You Laugh, which will take you to my channel. You can hit the About section, and then from there there's a link to my book review channel. So this is what Ted Leonsis did. He remarked on an incident in his life where he ended up taking a higher paying job for more money. And his life is it's very, very interesting because he was all up in the whole tech age with Steve Jobs and everything with that. And so basically what he did was he was making a decent amount of money. This was early on in his life after graduating from Georgetown University. He's doing decent. He's making a decent salary, making a living. He's not like a millionaire yet. He's making a decent salary and doing something he loves at this new company. Apparently, it was an Asian company. The founder's Asian, so props to Asians. But anyhow, he's at this company, and one day he decides he gets an offer from a headhunter. A headhunter is pretty much someone who finds executives and offers them jobs, because executives are hard to find. Top jobs need a lot of credentials, so there's people called headhunters who do this. And he ends up taking it, and it ends up being a total mess. He's making a lot more money. He had to break away from his whole community, moved down to Florida, and he's making like 3 times more money. I'm not really sure the exact number. I think he was making like who knows, 50,000 a year before, and now he's making 3 times 150,000, something like that. And he hates it. He can't wait to get away. He can't. He wants to move on, but he's stuck there, and he stays stuck there for a year, 2 years, and it's just horrible because the job removes certain aspects of his happiness. There's no higher calling. Before he was doing something great in technology, was helping the world. There's no higher calling. There's a lot of stuff that was missing. No communities of interest. And he was in a whole new environment in Florida, and he was making a lot. But when you're spending most of your day, 5 days a week, if not more, doing something you hate, I mean, that's pretty horrendous. And then, sure, you can maybe one day save enough so that you don't have to work at all. But how long is that down the line? 10, 20, 30 years of torture for when you can finally do whatever you want 24/7? Anyhow, that's the first example. The second comes from Pete Leibman. He did a book titled something like How I Got My Dream Job. And Pete Leibman is a very young man who managed to do very well early on, obtaining his dream job through networking, a lot of social skills, etc., to become someone who was able to get a executive sales job in the NBA, and I believe he had an office above where the Washington Wizards play, and he worked directly with the Wizards, had all these perks and so forth. So his book recounts on how he did that and so forth. And in addition to that, he talks about how he eventually decided it wasn't for him, and he wanted even higher calling. He wanted to do something he enjoyed, which happened to be making a business. So he stopped that and got his second dream job as a CEO of a company and a writer of the book I was reading. So the company he made was something about, I forgot, I think it was networking or something. But Pete Leibman was another example of this incident. And so what he did was